Hey, good morning. I'm John Vance here, stuck on the roof at 9151 West Bell Road at Peoria, Nissan. This is our second great cause partner up on the roof with us this morning, and really excited to have him. We have Darlene Newsom with UMOM. She's the CEO. Darlene?
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for coming up on the roof. And Karen Fletcher is the Chief Development Officer, right? So you do a lot of the fundraising and things like that for this great cause.
That's correct. Keep the doors open somehow.
There you go. I agree. There's no question. Hey, Darlene, can you tell us a little bit about what UMOM is and what really its central mission is here in the Valley?
Well, UMOM is the largest homeless shelter for families in the state of Arizona. We have 126 families on our main campus, which is about 450 individuals, 300 children. And we also have support services and affordable housing opportunities.
Wow. I'm sure the needs probably really increased the last couple of years, maybe more so than even before.
Oh yeah, we saw our waiting list double in the last year. With the economic downturn, we saw a great need for our services, and we have a waiting list sometimes that extends to 90 families.
Really? You do a lot in terms of emergency shelter. We were talking about it even with somebody here, right? You know how personal it can be, emergency shelter and also permanent housing options. Can you kind of explain the differences and walk us through how that works?
Well, we have a full continuum of care of services at UMOM. We start with the emergency shelter where a family can stay up to 120 days. And then we also can offer a transitional shelter, which is where a family can stay up to 2 years. So a family who goes into emergency shelter starts working on their issues, and if they still need to finish their education, their training, or work on some other issues, there's an option that they can stay up to 2 years. And then we also have the affordable housing piece. We have 284 affordable housing units located in the Phoenix community where a family can go and stay below market rate. And we also have the ability to do some rental subsidies, and at each of those sites there's supportive housing, supportive services and housing for the families.
How do you determine, kind of a little bit off question, how do you determine the people that qualify, and I mean the people that get the aid, that get the assistance from UMOM?
Well, our policy is at the front door, we don't have a lot of judgment.
Right.
So when a family comes in, we take single parents, we take single dads, we take grandmas raising kids, we take two-parent families, we take boys over the age of 14. The big thing is that we want to keep families together while they're at UMOM, and we believe that every family deserves the opportunity to make a better life for themselves and their children. How
many families do you help a year? On average, I guess.
On an average, I would say right between all our programs through the continuum that we offer, about 1,000 families altogether.
Wow, that's huge, huh?
Yes.
It really is. And 284 permanent housing options?
We have 284 permanent housing options available. In addition to all of that, in that continuum, we also have a low-demand shelter for single women. At a separate location, every night we pick up single women who live on the streets in the city of Phoenix, and we provide a roof over their heads, a place to sleep, and a meal.
We also have a domestic violence shelter. There's been quite an increase in that over the years, so in the last 7 years we provide 15 families who can serve at any given time that have experienced domestic violence. We provide the same supportive services to assist them getting back on their feet and being able to move beyond the abuse.
You know, I was just going to ask you that actually, and Karen, maybe you can speak to this part, right? I mean, UMOM's more about just temporary housing, right? It provides a lot of other services to get some homeless people back on their feet. Can you kind of maybe take me down that path a little bit?
Absolutely. We really consider it a community within a community.
Almost a campus, right?
Yes, you have to take care of the basic needs, food, clothing, and shelter. That's a given. But what we've done is we've taken over the last several years and we've identified what are the needs of the families coming in. So we have a very comprehensive child development center. Darlene mentioned on our main campus we have 300 children a day. The children often are the victims based on what decisions their parents have made. We want to give them the very best chance, because if we can help the children, we can break that cycle. So we work with the children from infant all the way through high school. We have programs for the children. We've got a wellness department clinic on site. We partner with Phoenix Children's Hospital. If you don't feel good, you certainly can't work towards improving your situation. So we have the ability to serve all of the health care needs of any person on our campus 23 years and younger. And then we work to provide health care beyond that. We employment center, culinary school. We have a program we partner with Gateway Community College. We have 22 of our residents in the nursing program right now.
Wow.
From a domestic violence perspective, we have a legal advocate who's on staff. We're working to provide the services and resources to help each family who has a specialized case plan work their plan to be able to eventually move into court.
And be self-sufficient,
That's
right?
correct. That's the ultimate goal.
It is the ultimate goal, I would think.
That's right.
And I mean, you're the chief development officer, right? And we were talking about that,
Yes.
briefly. Tell me how UMOM is funded and how much you rely on even private donation.
We're very, very, very fortunate that we've got a great balance of government funding as well as the private sector. You know, we're a faith-based community. Our roots are founded in the United Methodist group. And so as we've evolved, we've served all sectors today, but we get great support from all the faiths, the private corporations, foundations, and then we offset that with government. What we've seen over the last few years is as our government funding has decreased, with the challenges from the federal government all the way down to the city level, is that the private sector has really risen to the occasion. So we have great support. It's a collaboration. You need all the pieces in order to keep the funding moving forward.
Absolutely, and after this, a couple of years of recessionary downturn, I guess we've all experienced, right? And certainly, it was interesting. I was talking to somebody the other day that was up here. When people decided to, I think, as the economy took its turn of events, what they really did is, if they were giving, it wasn't like they just cut back their giving to a different level. A lot of them just kind of went away, and now as things are re-emerging in the economy, they certainly are in the business sector, we all know that.
Right.
Sounds like they are even for you, Mom, right, is getting those people back involved and getting some of that, charitable giving, and or the big thing, though, that we try to do here is volunteerism, that volunteer piece.
Absolutely. We're very, very fortunate. We had 8,700 volunteers in 2010.
Wow, right here in Valley.
Here in the Valley. We're Valley-based. We have a multitude of programs. We have volunteer opportunities for anybody that wants to do any type of volunteer, which is great. We can have families come in. A lot of nonprofits don't have the ability to have families volunteer together. Youth groups, we have faith-based groups, corporations, everything from helping to cook in the kitchen and serve meals, doing construction projects, reading to the kids, special events. We could not do the work we do without the fabulous volunteers.
8,700. I mean, that is an awesome job. I'm not kidding you. That's one of the biggest numbers ever. 8,700 volunteers. Why don't you tell people how they can get involved in UMOM, right? Whether it's from a financial aspect or a volunteer aspect. How do they reach out to you? I think people taking that first step sometimes can be the most difficult.
Yes.
You know what I mean? How do they do that? How do you make it easy for them to get involved?
Well, one of the ways is they can visit our website at www.umom.org. And on our website, we have listed all the different opportunities and ways that people can give, whether it's their time or their dollars to support activities, and also to learn more about our services. But, I always think the best way is to come on down and see our campus. We love for people to come down. We're located at 3333 East Van Buren, and we can give tours. We have different groups that come in. Today we've got a group from the Bank of America coming in with 4
Nice.
volunteers that will do all kinds of activities on the campus. We have different schools that come in and do drives. We have one school that has done a drive for the past 15 years of collecting cereal. And they bring down a whole busload of cereal, and the kids help unload it. We've got Eagle Scout projects. We have church projects. So there's many different ways that people can get involved.
I think you're right, Darlene. I think if people come down to the campus and they can really get to see the good work that you're doing, right, and the positive impact that you're making on people with need, right, that their chance of getting involved, right, would increase hugely. And I mean, that's really one of our goals as we're up here on the roof and we're talking to great groups such as yours, is really reaching out to people, figuring out a way that people can get involved. I think that that's a huge, huge key. And I mean, bless you, by the way. But a way for people to get involved. I think that that's really, really the key. And I mean, everyone's tides are, for the most part, turning, at least generally speaking, in the economy, right? And it's time to really get re-emerged and, re-engage in some of these great causes.
Well, we did a special project over Easter. We did a collection of purses. And it first started off that we were going to collect purses and fill them with hygiene items for our single women at our walk-in shelter. And so the night before Easter, we were going to put a purse on their bed full of hygiene items. Well, it turned into be, I just wanted to collect 120 purses and some hygiene items. We got over 1,000 purses donated.
Wow.
And hygiene items that we were actually able to share them with other organizations. We had some go down to the cash shelter and some go to the Save the Family. And that's what it's all about, is really working together and sharing with each other.
So remember, folks, UMOM, U-M-O-M, sounds pretty easy, right? But it's spelled with UMOM.org. Figure out ways to get involved in this great cause. Darlene, I just want to thank you so much for braving. Darlene's a little afraid of heights up here on the roof. Huh?
Hey, I did one for the team today.
You definitely did, right?
Yes, I
mean,
did.
remember, you have to look at me when you go back down the
I'm
hole.
not off the roof yet.
That's right. But Darlene, it was great to meet you.
Yes,
Thanks
great
so
to
much
meet you.
for telling us about UMOM and all the great work that you're doing for families and individuals here in the Valley. Really appreciate it.
Thank
Karen,
you.
thank you so much.
Very much. Really
Absolutely.
appreciate
And
it.
remember, UMOM.org, that's how you can get involved. Stuck on the roof here at 9151 West Bell Road. This is John Vance. Until we meet again, thank you.